Friends, I speak as the former president of the Trades Union Congress, organisation of 6.5 million working people, and with their families, a very large slice of British democracy. We've been showing solidarity with the workers in Iran who faced very serious struggles industrially, politically, socially, economically, and the brutal repression of their industrial disputes and the brutal repression of their attempts to get even payment have been marked by international solidarity actions. One of the things that the Trade Union Congress has been doing is alerting all the international secretariats in the different industries like transport and construction, education and so forth, so that they can bring all the measures they can to bear in their field and to isolate the people repressing workers in Iran. Now that's the trade union solidarity issue, but we also have a much bigger problem in Britain. As a leading member of the Labour Party, I have to say that we have a particularly difficult situation regarding Iran and our party. And this hasn't been said by any other speaker at this conference, but someone has to say it. The leader of the British Labour Party is a friend of the mullahs. He was a long-standing paid employee of Press TV. Until he became leader, he had a regular program on Press TV, which is the international program of Iranian state TV, with a salary. Now, we have had real difficulty getting through to him, communicating the issues that we've been debating so extensively in this very important meeting. I congratulate everyone who's organized the meeting, but it's important that you understand we are campaigning to change the position of the Labour Party leadership. There is no problem with the membership of the Labour Party. The difficulty is getting through to the leader's office. Now, this has been a problem in a number of areas, like the Brexit area, where we've just managed to effect some change, but on Iran, we haven't. Now, we've taken this on as a special responsibility to speak to other shadow ministers and other leading members to try and get a change in the position of the leader, because it is fundamentally important, whether it's from the position of European countries working together, or whether it's just in the question of the British government taking action, we need the support of the Labour Party leadership on this issue. And I give a commitment that we will be working as hard as we can to ensure that this change is made and that the position of the British Labour Party on Iran and on support for the National Council for Resistance in Iran is put right as soon as possible. Time is limited, so I will only just say one other thing about a different subject, and that is we may have in 2 weeks' time a new Prime Minister, unless there is a bolt from thunderstorm or lightning from heaven which could change things. But in 2 weeks' time, if there is a new Prime Minister, it is possibly going to be Boris Johnson. And he was, before his current position, he was the Foreign Secretary. He had a very personal experience with Iran, a very personal experience. As Foreign Secretary, he intervened to try and help a neighbour of mine who lives near me in North London, Nazarene Zaghari Ratcliffe. Many of you will have heard of her. She is a young Iranian British woman, a dual national, married to a Briton with a small baby. And when she took her baby to see its grandparents in Tehran, she was arrested as a spy. And she was thrown into prison and separated from her baby. And nothing could convince them to give her a fair trial. Nothing could convince them to give her proper legal representation, and subsequently nothing could convince the mullahs to even give her decent medical attention. This is an outrageous, tragic example of the evilry, the disgrace of the mullahs in Tehran. Now, Boris Johnson, as Foreign Secretary, intervened with them and tried to say this needed to be put right. She needed to be released. And the response of the mullahs was very simple. Very simple. We can all understand it, even if it is crazy. They said, well, she's in for 3 years. If the British Foreign Secretary is putting the case for her release, we will increase her sentence to 5 years. And that is what they have done. This young girl with a young baby, separated from the baby, is in jail now, not for 3 years, but for 5 years. And action, solidarity action, hunger strikes, demonstrations, representations of all kinds are being made, and the kind of attitude that the mullahs are taking is making a lot of people much more understanding of the reason for action over Iranian democracy, and in particular the need to support resistance and the need to support regime change. So from the point of view of this case, the evidence is here, public opinion is strong, and we will continue to campaign until we win.